Eric Adams, he's the mayor of New York City. And wow, Eric was like, do you know how much this is costing us? It's over $7 billion a year. So what did he do? As soon as Donald Trump got elected, first thing he did was he shut off those special cards where you could get over $300 a week for ethnically appropriate food if you were here as a migrant. I mean, insane. $300 and change a week. That was a lot of money. And so, of course, in the meantime, they're going after him because he dared to call this out. He danced around it in the beginning. He's the mayor of New York City. He's a Democrat. But he's like, we can't handle this. Are you kidding me? Like, we can't handle this massive number of people coming in. It's not possible. We can barely pay for ourselves, especially coming out of COVID, et cetera. And so no sooner did he say all this than all of a sudden, bum-ba-da, there's an investigation into Eric Adams with this big bribery charge, and he gets indicted. Well, the judge threw the case out of court, and they did so without prejudice, meaning that Eric Adams cannot be indicted in the future again on those charges. Well, what do you know? Eric Adams has suddenly become a Kash Patel FBI convert. Here he is speaking to New Yorkers, saying exactly what went down. And he said, if you have any questions, you know the book to read. Check this out.
Governor Hochul said last night with Rachel Maddow that she would consider removing you. How would you feel about that?
She has her role, I have my role. And throughout this entire ordeal, which I think no American should have to go through, the torment of 15 months that my family and I had to endure for something I didn't do. I didn't do anything wrong. Throughout the entire ordeal, I said one thing. My attorney will handle the legal part. I'm going to handle running the city. We return jobs to our city. Our city is getting safer. We're building housing. I think that this is a great American narrative where I stood focused on what I was elected to do.
I want you to address the
Look, Governor Hochul is an embarrassment to the position she holds. She stands on media after someone's burned alive on a subway. She stands in front of TV camera and says, I think criminal aliens should be removed too. But she's got the green light law. The men and women of ICE and Border Patrol, when they pull a vehicle over, law enforcement, you're in law enforcement your whole career. What's the first thing you would do? You run the license plate number. Are these wanted? Is there a warrant for these people? Who are they? Are they dangerous? Is that car stolen? All these things, right? Do you know ICE and CBP can't run DMV data on New York State license plate? So they're pulling over people not even know who the hell they are.
Is that the green light law?
The green light law. So she, on one point, she's saying, well, I think criminals should be removed too, but then she locks us out of DMV data. That'd be like us locking officers out of NCIC, the Fed zone. Would we do that? No, because officer safety is paramount. She's putting the men and women at ICE at risk every day. The job's already dangerous. So Governor Hochul, she needs to be removed. Everybody needs to be removed. It needs to be her. She supports sanctuary policy.
I don't know anyone who thinks she's doing a good job. She's an embarrassment. It's hard for me to be impartial on that.
Okay, so what was really important about that soundbite, and I have another one to play, the one where he's praising Kash, is that he got up there on set, on like enemy territory, on, of all things, Fox News, and sat there with one Tom Homan who's trying to go after Kathy Hochul, Letitia James, the DMV head in the state of New York, alongside Pam Bondi, who, by the way, has already filed suit against them because they're in total violation of the Constitution. When the feds are coming in trying to look for people and kick them out of the country, well, New York can't actually hide them or protect them. And so they are all sort of at odds with each other. And the fact that Eric Adams, the New York mayor, sat down with Tom Homan, well, things got even worse. But here's the deal. Eric gets it. He knows what went down, and he actually has a certain kind of empathy, if you would, for one Donald Trump, because he knows how they target you if you are at odds with what they politically want. Here he is. This is the soundbite where he explains it.
And New Yorkers stop me all the time in trying to find the rationale behind this. And I found it in this book. I'm going to encourage every New Yorker to read it.
Government Gangsters, right? So that's a book that Kash wrote about the deep state at work and how they are trying to target people that are at odds with them. And let's face it, the deep state just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And even though America elected Donald Trump in 2016, you still had James Comey doing what he was doing with his little honeypot schemes along the way and trying to get into Ben Carson's campaign and trying to get into Donald Trump's campaign. We know about the Carter Page stuff. But George Papadopoulos, go look at the interview on my channel. He was just on the other day saying, hey, they came after me a few times, including when I was on Ben Carson's campaign, because they just wanted intel on what the other side was doing, period. It wasn't that they really thought that anybody was a Russian spy or that Donald... No. They just wanted to know what they were doing because that's who they were up against. So there's a lot of questions, shall we say, that need to be examined and still will be examined. You know, of course, that Donald Trump just last week announced that he is declassifying all of the records associated with the Russia hoax. Well, that's good news, right? Because we still need all that information. Kash Patel had said on a podcast during, this would have been a couple of years ago, shortly after Donald Trump had filed suit against, using RICO laws, against Hillary Clinton and basically all her cronies. And he had said, you know what, this is important, not just for the $75 million that's at stake and suing all these people, but because we want discovery. We want to know what went down and how they did it. Well, now they're getting discovery. You see, he's president and he's declassifying all that. So they're going to find out all the information they want. And Eric Adams may find out all the information he wants and needs. I mean, he's blamed Biden, shall we say, right from the get-go. He knew exactly why this went down. Look, you step out of line, suddenly you're persona non grata.
I think that your second question, I think you need to ask the federal prosecutors who gave the directive in the orders. I don't know, but we should ask them who gave the directive in orders that we're going to take on and create this group of lies. They have the answer to that question. When it comes down to reading it, I peruse through it to get the top lines. The attorneys are going to dig into the crevices of it, but it is clear. Everyone that knows me knows I follow campaign rules and I follow the law. That is how I lived my life, and I don't see coming into the 60s and my age to all of a sudden change what I've done all the time. I follow the law and I follow the campaign rules.
Thank you!
Well, he's been burned. It's like burn me once, burn me twice, game over, right? Like he's now going to actually ditch the Democrat Party. Of course, they're sort of ditching him, and he's going to be running as an independent there. And of course, they want to contest that. So that's going to become a really, really interesting race. And he's like, for all you guys out there, he said this today, that want me to step down. And it's interesting, he actually cited many people in the minority black population that want him to cite down, right? To step down. He's like, come on now, right? Like, it's so fascinating. And they always try and use things like race, etc. I mean, the latest and greatest, Jasmine Crockett, she's all over that one. We're going to get to some of that news here today as well. Before I do, a big shout out for one of our great sponsors here on the show. You know, we're fully independent, no longer associated with Fox or CNBC or CBS or NBC or ABC or any of these guys, right? It's just the Trish Regan Show. So one, I always appreciate your patience with everything production-wise here on the program. And second of all, I always appreciate that you are kind to our sponsors. So one of our great sponsors is Balance in Nature. Balance in Nature, I take my fruits and veggies every day, the gummies, I get all my vitamins this way. It's actually really important, right? Especially as you get older, to take all your vitamins and to make sure that you're getting everything you need. And so I feel confident knowing I am getting everything I need with Balance in Nature. They send it to my house. You can get free shipping. You can get 35% off with my discount code TRISH. Just go to balanceinature.com. Make sure you use the discount code because it helps me. It helps you, obviously, because you're getting the discount and money back guarantee and free shipping and all that good stuff. Plus, you're getting the vitamins into themselves. So go check them out today, balanceofnature.com, and use code word TRISH.